one of the most talented and successful artists of his generation.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in. How we doing? How we doing? Yo, ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? Welcome on in. Welcome on in for those of you guys who are new. My name is Percussive173. It's an absolute pleasure to see you all. Welcome on into the band fam. Queen of Hell, hello. Tyler Datkins, hello. We're getting ready to have an incredible conversation with an incredible VTuber. And I'll let you guys know a little bit more about who that is. And yeah, guys, it's been a quick minute since I've seen you. I know I did a little pop-up screen here on like Tuesday, but for those of you guys who missed it, I was actually in DreamHack Atlanta, and I was actually a featured content creator, so I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully everybody's having a phenomenal Friday night. Welcome to the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to freaking party, and I can't wait to talk about what we have in store today. I can't wait to talk to an absolutely incredible creator. The coffee is brewed, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready. We are absolutely ready, and I did not wait to be able to bring Lainey on. It's going to be really cool to be able to talk with her. For those of you guys who are not following Lainey, please make sure you are doing so. She is tagged right here in the stream title. You should easily be able to click on that link, hit follow, go tell her Perk sent you, go tell her welcome to the band fam, go spam her inbox, because she's one of those really cool, amazing people. So we're gonna pause the music for a sec because I'm really excited to be able to actually get back and chat with you guys. I had a wonderful experience in Atlanta this past weekend, and honestly, like, I owe it all to you guys. I owe it all to all my followers. I owe it all to the band fam. And I stream to multiple platforms, so everybody knows I stream to YouTube, I stream to Kick, I stream to Twitch, I stream to Twitter, I stream to pretty much wherever it allows me to, because that's just kind of how my mentality is and how I think things should go. I'm also streaming to the PSP Podcast YouTube as well. So I could not be more excited to be able to have you guys be able to join me, to be able to start what it is with the PSP Podcast, to be able to be a part of that. Did I already make a mistake? Chat, I made a mistake. I did something stupid. I didn't reallocate the thing. It's gonna take me a while to actually transfer that video, but you know what? We're gonna deal with that anyways. I don't want to restart anything. Um, so we're gonna quickly go ahead and hop into the podcast. We're gonna actually swap screens here, I think, real quick. Let me go ahead and take the kick chat because everybody apparently like he really wants to sell his whatchamacallit. I don't even remember where I put the kick chat. Is that under Botrix? No. I thought I did that. I thought I took that away. Is it emote wall chat box source? Yeah, chat box source is going away. But honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I could not be more excited for tonight because I have the ability to talk with somebody extremely new. And for those of you guys who have never been part of the PSP podcast, you guys are in for such a goddamn treat because the PSP podcast is where I bring in people to talk about some amazing things in regards to creators. And I could not be more excited to be able to share their stories with you, to be able to inspire aspiring creators. So, yeah, without further ado, I say we roll right into it. What do you guys think? We'll make that happen. Let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in to the PSP Podcast, featuring your friendly host, Percussive173, where PSP stands for Perk Spreads Positivity, where we educate.
The 3 E's, right? You can educate, you can entertain, you can be empathetic.
Have you encountered any gender-related obstacles or biases while building your career in content creation?
I would say the cyber stalking.
By bringing in the best of the best. You still do that, so let's not discount that. So what really made you go into streaming? What was that decision? What was that move that made you, Nick, as I'm very sorry, I know I'm teasing you, but it's literally, it's one of those things that we can do. Post everywhere, post often, and do it your own way. And have fun. And have fun and be yourself.
Fine. Have fun, honestly. Like that, I love that so much because it's so true. Like, if you like the content you're making, like if you're watching it and you like it, you're not the only person.
From fitness to establish a new habit or a routine, what is your message to them?
Start with less than you think you need.
Too fitting. Would love to get some tips and tricks of the trade on like how you kind of do things in the cosplay field.
Yeah, I'd love to go into that, especially because like I've done a little bit of everything, right? So I've made some costumes, I've bought some costumes, I have my friends' old costumes, I've commissioned costumes, I like craft all kinds of things, but also I wear things. Like there's a whole smorgasbord if I do a little bit of everything when it comes to cosplay.
To VTubing and animation. This is something that I may want to get into. How should they start?
Ooh, I think everyone should start on YouTube. I think YouTube is going to be your best place for launching
metrics that creators should be paying attention to, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think, and like specifically with like VTubing, I think it's, I think all of that is like kind of like the difficulty level is like bumped up to like expert.
And our goal at the PSP Podcast is to educate and inspire aspiring creators. And we are super excited for this week's episode, and we can't wait to see you there. So let's have a freaking party! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to today's episode of the PSP Podcast, where Perk Spreads Positivity, where we talk about creativity, culture, community, and being your enthusiastic, authentic self. And as you guys know, I'm your host, Percussive173, and today's episode is called From One Podcaster to Another, where I am super excited to sit down and chat with Lainey Talks. Now, she is a very, very talented streamer, a very talented podcaster, storyteller, and just gamer who has warm energy, authenticity, and just realness to her streams and her community. Whether it be sharing stories that just hit the heart, or whether it just be playing the games, she's here, she's who she is, and Lainey, I am so excited to have you on. Lainey, how we doing today?
Everybody, that's the wrong. Hold on. All right, hold on. I've got to wave. Give me a second. There we go. Hi.
Welcome on in. It is a pleasure to have you on the podcast.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you. So why don't we tell everybody a little bit about yourself for those who may not know who you are. Who is Lainey, and what's the story behind Lainey?
The worst question.
Right?
Answering this question. Well, my name is Lainey Talks. I got the name because I originally was using it for voice acting. And that's where the podcast era kind of comes in for me. I did an anime chat with a bunch of voice actors called the Anime Chat Podcast. That was way back, I think over like 5 years ago now. And then it just kind of stuck because I'm a natural yapper, and it's a lot of fun to, yap and hang out with people. And that's kind of where I've, been and, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm a variety streamer, a VTuber. I have model toggles, so I do models based off of like what the vibe of the stream is. So for people who like, more cozy games, I've got a chibi model. It's a bit more of a cozy feel. I've got a Japanese ink and styled model for MMOs, RPGs, and the anime related games. And then the one that everybody's seeing now is a recent addition. It's my Prism model. It's going to slowly replace my primary model for just general chaos and collaborations and stuff like that.
And that's really cool because I don't know a whole lot about VTubing. I know I had a couple of VTubers in the past pop on, and I'm actually gonna be having a bunch of VTubers more. So why don't we talk a little bit about about the tech behind what you do? How do you even make a VTuber model? What is something that you do that makes that happen? Let's talk a little. Let's start with that.
Okay, so that's a little. I don't do anything.
Sure.
Let me be clear. I am not artistic in any type of way. But typically there are people who have movable live 2D models, which is what I'm currently using. It's called a live 2D model. There are people that have static PNGs, which are just a PNG picture that you pop up on the stream, and that's supposed to be an indication of who you are. There's GIF PNGs, which is, much similar to a static, except it's moving. It's a GIF. And then there's live 2D, and then there's 3D models. Typically, there is a whole lot of work that goes into it. Mine was a little bit simpler. I don't have any extensive lore other than my IRL life. I just kind of didn't want to use a face cam. So
hey, that's valid though.
This.
That's totally valid though.
The progression has been interesting. I just recently started getting into live 2D models this year. In April is when I got my first one. And I commissioned an artist and a rigger. So they were the ones that drew everything up and made it so that it can move. And then I just downloaded the software so I can guide it and puppet it, I guess is a good way to put it. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways, but typically it involves commissioning an artist and a rigger. And then you buy the software and you have the cam and stuff. And then you just kind of make exaggerated movements to make it bouncy and fun, and you add a bunch of overlays and stuff.
That's the one reason why I like my face cam, because I can only exaggerate so much. I mean, and especially as a COD creator, we all know how bad the game sucks there, and we already exaggerate, and I don't think I would be good as a VTuber because everything would be an expression. Everything would just be whoa.
See, but you can have your stickers, your GIF stickers made so much easier. So it's a lot easier for people with cams in that sense. But I mean, it provides a lot of fantasy. If you like character building and stuff like that, you're able to essentially bring a character that represents who you are without it being who you are, or put on a character, or do something that you want to express in a little bit more of a creative way, rather than just being here's my face. Excuse me, I burped. I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're allowed to burp. I mean, dude, all right, so I'll tell you what, there was a point in time where I had a couple people who would just come in my Discord, like, so I had open Discord like when I first started streaming, right? So I would play Call of Duty, I would play some things like that, and they would just come in and literally like loudly burp, and to the point where we even made a burp sound effect in my Discord, just so that because it's just we don't mind it. We're all human. We all do those things. It's perfectly valid, and you know, it's just funny. It's goofy.
It is, but it's not good when you're in the middle of talking.
No, it
doesn't feel good either.
We'll edit that part out.
Sounds good.
No, but VTubing is really interesting though, because like you do have to, like, people forget that you do have to be like over like like, I don't want to say emotional. You have to be expressive. And like being expressive is actually a huge part of content. Like people think that you're just sitting behind a camera and like you're pressing like a couple buttons, making yourself like dance or like do things, but like no, there's a lot behind it. And like I remember talking with Amethyst May about it. Like there's so much behind VTubing. It's such a difficult craft, and it's like the stuff that we do like with our hand movements and with our body movements to like kind of keep chat attentive. You guys are doing that just your face alone.
A lot of times, yes. So there's toggles, right, that you can toggle them on and off. You know, like my wave earlier. Wave, hi, hello. I have an issue sometimes doing that, like with my hands. There are some models and some people who have some pretty in-depth and pretty extravagant setups where they will track their hands. A lot of 3D VTubers have them. It tracks their hands, their face, their other body movements, and you have a bit more movement involved with it. But for my case, and much like Amethyst May, we use live 2D models. So there's not a whole lot that we can do unless we use toggles. But, you know, like if you were to make a face right now, like a pouty face, you have to do it, like you can do it like, and be a little bit more subtle with it. Whereas if in VTubing, if you want to be like, you have to be you have to be kind of like extremely expressive. Like you learn how to move your face in different ways to make it so that way people can still connect with you, but it's through the avatar.
You know, one of the funny things as we talk about being expressive, and one of my most popular streams that I've ever done was anti-expressive, where the only thing I did was stare into the camera, and everyone kept trying to break me. It was a 2-hour long stream, and I ended up hitting like 200 viewers on Twitch, and it was one of the funniest things. The only thing I did was just stare into the camera silently, and you would hear my cat knock something over, and I just wouldn't move. But you know, and that's the beauty of content, is like you can kind of do everything. There's different things that you have to understand with different professions and the way things go. And like, especially like with the PSP podcast being something that I created to inspire aspiring creators, there's a lot more that you have to think about from like behind the scenes to actually like understand what it means to be a creator. Like if you had to tell somebody something when they first started streaming, if you had one message to them, what would be your message to somebody who's wanting to pick up the streaming, maybe wanting to get into microphone, wanting to get into podcasting? What's your message to them?
So, are you saying like streaming wise, VTubing wise, or podcast wise? Because I've got 3 different answers.
Sure, go for it. I'm excited to hear all 3.
In terms of the streaming space, try your best not to compare to anyone. If you're going to go into streaming, there's going to be people who are going to do the same things. Some people are going to do different things. Some people are going to excel at things. Some people are not going to excel at things. And don't let that be your guidepost. If you're happy with it, be happy with it. Don't compare to anybody else's, because when you play that compare game and you're going to allow like those negative thoughts and stuff to go into your head and make you lose confidence. And a big thing with streaming is confidence, because people, regardless if you use a VTuber model, a camera, they can see that, they can feel that through your interactions with you.
Absolutely.
In podcast, always make a script. I learned that like halfway through my anime chat podcast. Always make a script. If you don't have one, if it's 10 minutes before, doesn't matter, but have a script ready so you've got a base point of what you want to hit within the discussion so you can stay on topic, and allow some wiggle room within that script for funny things to kind of come up in general discussions, but have the plot points that you want to get to and how you want to phase into those next questions. And for VTubing, don't be scared. There's so much information when you first go into VTubing, and people always say, well, you have to have this. As somebody who's progressed through their VTubing career from nothing to a PNG to now a live 2D model, it's been constant where I, as a VTuber, you hear, oh, well, you don't have this, you're not a real VTuber. If you don't have this, you're not a real VTuber. If you don't have this, you're not a real VTuber. Ignore that. There's so much other information like softwares and how to work things and how to integrate stuff for your audience to like integrate with your VTuber model and all this. Ignore about what makes you a quote unquote valid VTuber, because you turning your camera on and doing something other than your camera and you're using an avatar, no matter what it may be, is valid VTubing.
Absolutely agree. Like with all 3 points, and like when it comes to podcasting, because that's going to be the main topic of discussion with this particular episode. You mentioned making a script, and that resonates with me because what I do before every podcast is I have an introduction paragraph that I kind of go off of that I completely change every single time. I don't think I have points I have from each one of the people that I talk about, but I always go off script, and I have questions that will be able to keep the conversation going, but I always go off script. I'm one of the weird let's wing it type podcasters where I'll throw something out of the top of my head and it'll be amazing. Like we'll talk about DreamHack, maybe. Like we'll talk about something completely out of left field, like what happened to the Cleveland Cavaliers last night. You know, like something like that, just to keep the energy going, keep the flow going. And like my biggest message to anybody who wants to get into podcasting is you better know how to yap. Because ladies and gentlemen, it is all about yapping, and it is so much fun to yap. And honestly, there's a really
I think with podcasting, the big thing is dead air. You don't want dead air. Kill it.
everything in regards to the audio stuff with podcasting is extremely important. The moment you have dead air is the moment that someone's going to click off the podcast, and it goes. You have to have a hook going for as long as the podcast is running, and that's just so important. And that's why people talk about random things on podcasts, and it leads to different directions. And honestly, just genuinely being like yourself and being enthusiastically, authentically yourself is one of the most important things. And this goes where I think there's a coincide between streaming and podcasting. Like everybody tries to go into streaming and they're like, I want to be this particular type of person. I want to be this COD player that does this thing, that does that area. And like, you know what? You're going to go in the left field and you might end up streaming Dead by Daylight next week. Who the hell knows? Because everything is evolving in a world of content. Podcasting is a form of content. And I could talk for hours about the world of content and like how everything kind of coalesces in the world of podcasting, but definitely like moving forward with stuff like that and understanding how things like just evolve over time is so important. Like having a script is huge because it keeps you organized.
To stick to it, but it gives you an outline.
It keeps you organized, and that's so important. Also, I'm getting some type of notification and I don't know what it is, and it makes no sense to me as to what it is. But anyways, tech issues
okay?
Oh yeah, no, things are great.
Okay.
So tech issues happen in the world of content, whether you want to or not. What's up, Lil Milla? How we doing?
For sure.
But it's not about those tech issues. It's about how you move past them and how you operate with them. And so, what actually made you want to pick up the mic to start podcasting in the first place?
So when I did my podcast, it was very much centered around having a discussion with other voice actors who are fans of anime and kind of like where they think like their voice acting journey will go, but also discussing their favorite animes and where they go from there, but also learning more about the voice actors behind the voices. So for me, it was I was a newbie within the voice acting industry, and I really wanted to get to know a whole bunch of creators within the space, but I also wanted to know their tips and tricks and share them with other people who may not have been, as informed as I was when I first started, but also talk about anime because I'm a big anime nerd.
You and me both. Speaking
So,
of anime, because we have to ask that now, what's your favorite?
I can't answer that. There's too many. But I've got Full Metal Alchemist tattooed on my body. My daughter is named after Sword Art Online.
W.
I really like Death Note.
Death Note's great.
There's also Solo Leveling's really good. It's probably one of my favorite new ones.
Mine's
My
Bleach.
Hero, Spy X Family.
Mine is Bleach. Just to throw that out there. Bleach has been my all-time favorite anime from start to finish. It's just been so good.
Controversial take. I didn't like it.
Really? We're fighting now.
I didn't like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, and that
I'm
was
so
the PS.
sorry. I've seen over 2,100 different animes, and typically when my friends ask me which one's your favorite, I said whichever one I've watched more than once.
Of course. And and that's so important. It's like the world of anime is like such a vast, like, there's so many different animes out there. I hate when people come up to me and they're like, I don't like anime. Well, you might not like that specific anime, but there's always an anime out there for you. There's a million different types of animes. There's cozy animes. Yeah,
a new style of anime is if anybody likes period dramas from like K dramas or J dramas, C dramas, international dramas, they've got period related dramas. And if you like those style, they've started integrating into anime period related dramas in animated form. And I've loved that. It's like the combination of my two favorite like types of shows to watch.
I don't think I know anything about that topic, to be straight up with you, but
It's so good. It's definitely niche, man. I can go on like forever, which is why I had the Anime Chat podcast, because I wanted a space for voice actors to talk about voice acting while also, talking more and more about my absolute obsession with different animes.
And that's such a cool thing, though, like to be able to have like that conversation, to be able to connect like with a passion of yours is just such a cool thing, because like it's why I started the PSP podcast, is to be able to connect with different creators and to be able to talk and connect with them and have that actual passion with it. And it's such a cool thing to like be able to like piece those things together and just to have. And like when you're passionate about something in the world of content, that is where people are going to get excited to be there. And that's where people are going to want to start paying attention. And that's with me loving the whole world of content, not just Call of Duty. That's why I wanted the PSP podcast to be there, because I want to do something beneficial for everyone in the content world, not just myself.
And which is extremely, extremely warm-hearted and kind of you. So that's amazing.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I commend you for that.
And like everyone tells me that like the world of content is very vast and it's very difficult and there's a lot of drama. I've managed to stay out of drama 9 times out of 10. But like one of the things that I like to warn people who are first getting into content is stay in your own lane. And that goes as a streamer, as a content creator, as a podcaster. You stay in your lane and
Voice
have fun with it.
all of it. Like
all
just
of it.
do your thing, be by yourself for a little bit. It's totally okay. The people who will come to you and they'll be good people. And you're going to have bad people mixed in there as well. But like, be comfortable doing it by yourself, because if you're comfortable doing it by yourself, nobody's going to bother you when they come into the square anyway.
Absolutely. And so talking about podcasting, since this is like a content related podcast episode, what tools do you use in the podcast world? Is it just a mic and you just talk and then you throw it on YouTube, or like what do you do in the world of podcasting?
When I was doing the Anime Chat podcast, it was on an older style, which we talked about this beforehand too, but this was an older style form of posting podcasts called Zcast.
Okay.
And back then I didn't have anything better than my phone mic. So I would sit in Discord and I would record it in Discord on my phone. and then I would just post it. But as Zcast kind of grew and the Anime Chat podcast grew up until its season finale, after I think it was like 20 episodes, I then converted it over to my PC or my laptop at the time, really old. I think it was like a 2015 Dell laptop.
Ooh, the Inspirons, the XPS era. Yeah, there you go.
Super slow, and downloaded Audacity, and I used Audacity to edit and the compressor and stuff that came with free Audacity, which is fun saying free Audacity.
Free Audacity.
Free Audacity.
Dude, anything free now is
it's a steal, man.
It is a total steal.
But yeah, it was Audacity. I think when it comes to like being on podcast too, you got to make sure that besides just the microphone and back stuff, you have to make sure that you have somewhat of a decent chemistry with who you're co-hosting with, because you have to fill all that negative space. Like if you don't have that chemistry, you'll have a lot of negative space. And like you said, that's when people will click off. They're like, oh, it's dead. Like it's done. They'll assume that it's done because their only stimulation 90% of the time with the podcast is audible.
Exactly.
So you have to make sure that you've got that chemistry there. And if you don't have it, you have to at least be good at faking it or creating it yourself.
Of course. And like any dead space is always capable of being filled in a podcast, whether it just be from just base interactions, like from a host perspective. So this is why I love one-on-one podcasting, because when you pull things together in a podcast, you're going to actually be doing it based off of the audio line, off of the auditory line, because the majority of the people are going to actually be hearing the podcast, not necessarily seeing it. I have a unique style of podcast where it shows the video, but the moment you hit dead space and you release that RSS feed out into that podcast world, people are going to just stop listening completely. And that's why editing a podcast is so important, to be able to get all that dead space out and to put things together in that manner. It's something you just got to learn how to do. It's
a lot of trial and error. Don't be
Exactly.
afraid of trial and error. Just like most things within life, unless you have like a contracted job that they're like, you've got 15 years of experience, you should know how to do this. But like when it comes to podcasting too, it's a lot of trial and error.
Yes.
You have to be comfortable with messing up. You have to be comfortable with being like, okay, yeah, you're not supposed to say that. Let me not do that next time. Or even just using fancy buzzwords from time to time. If you need to get like exposure or you want that little bit of extra oomph, is choosing the correct words that you use and being precise with that wording to entice listeners, to keep them listening.
Exactly. And it's huge in the podcast realm. And like, so one of the things in the world of podcasting that I use from a tech perspective has been Spotify for podcasters. So if you want to start your own podcast, there are certain tools that you're going to want to pay attention to. One of them for me that I love using is Spotify for podcasters, because you can create connections in RSS feeds to like Apple Music, Apple Podcast, Amazon Podcast. The world is like literally endless. If I log in and like kind of look at the amount of RSS feeds that I'm sending this particular podcast to, it's literally endless. There's a reason why it's been on for 3 years. Like this whole the whole podcast that I have has been on for literally, actually, sorry, not 3. That's a lie. 2.5 years, and it just keeps getting better with every episode. And the reason why it is because I'm sending it everywhere. I started with one to 2 listeners on each individual's play, and now it's turning into like 50 to 100 based off of the platform that it goes to, and it's continuously growing. So as podcasts work in the world of content, sorry, I got a phone call and I might have to potentially reschedule, but we'll see in a minute.
Is it your family?
Yeah, family. So we'll see how things go. But I also might have to do a quick BRB screen, let you take over for a minute, and then I'll cut that out in the recording. But anyways, there are definite buzzwords that like people can use. There's definite there's tools that are out there that are so useful for podcasting that are beyond the mic. For example, I'm using Discord. We're using Discord to transmit audio because it's been the best virtual audio feed that you can get, especially if you boost your server. the audio bitrate within Discord actually goes higher than 320, and when it feeds into OBS, it's very clear, which is why Lainey sounds clear, and it's really cool to see that type of thing. The RSS distribution list is something else. Actually, hold on. You know how I said I had to do that? I do have to do that.
Yeah.
So I'll let you take
your time,
over.
it's okay.
I'm going to put it on you only for a little bit, and I'm going to mute myself for a moment. I shall be right back.
Okay.
But I'll let you entertain chat for a moment.
I'll do that. Hi guys, how are you? I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do some of the few questions. I saw a couple of questions come in to both chats real quick in terms of like answering some questions while we're waiting. Just use up some time. I know Bozo and Popo, both of your questions, are they directed to both of us or one person specifically? And then if anybody has any like quick questions for just like me right now while we hold up some space and wait for Percussive to get back from his very important phone call, put them in the chat and we'll get them answered. To both. Okay. So when it's to both, I'll wait till he is here and we'll answer it for him. Yeah, I'm playing Schedule 1, making bad decisions in the game. I love that. So I have Schedule 1 on my saved wish list right now. So I'm kind of, I've watched some other people play it. It's a lot of fun. New model or older one? So this one is a newer model. I'm really, really liking this model. It's the Prism model by Mizi Mezi and Akizome. You can find them on Twitter, but it's about $135 is what I paid for this. And it's really good. It's extremely customizable, so you can set it to however you want. I love the model. I love my old one too, and he's back. So
I am. Yes.
We'll get back to it.
No, my apologies for that. I mean, when family calls in this type of situation. Okay? Oh yeah, things are great. So we were talking about the tech that makes things happen. And I didn't want to interrupt. You said oh yeah, Pikachu is hanging out back over here. She's my Lord and Savior. So for those of you guys who are not privy to what's going on, because I'm more than likely edit out of the podcast anyways, but my dad currently is in the hospital. He just had surgery. And so what I was dealing with a little family situation where I received a call from somebody that they were concerned. But he's doing very well. Things are going really well right now. But anyways, so
I'm glad he's doing okay.
So going back to, hold on, let me do a quick scene change so I know that's where I'm going back. But so in the world of podcasting in community, how would you describe the vibe of community and how important it is to podcasting and what really makes that special?
When it comes to podcasting, your community is almost entirely offline.
Yes.
And it's so different than it is for streaming. And it took a lot for me to kind of get used to that when I did the podcasting. Or when I went to streaming, because I was so used to, because I did podcasting before I did streaming. And with the podcasting, it was all offline. Like you have to make sure that you're keeping up with, you know, if you've got a Discord, you got to keep up with the Discord. If you've got like video components like what you did, which wasn't, you know, something that was very typical back when I was doing podcasting. Then you have to like make sure that you're keeping up with your offline chats on like YouTube, your community chat on YouTube, which also was not as good as it is now back then.
The offline chat is so interesting to bring up because like a lot of people forget that like your comments are still something that you have to interact with and you should be interacting with, because it's super huge and it helps with pushing of the videos, especially from a YouTube perspective as a whole. And I know like later on we'll talk a lot about YouTube because there's a lot of things that YouTube literally is your podcasting best friend, and we'll explain that later. But anyways, sorry to continue for sure.
It's okay. But with podcasting, you really have to, like, the community is entirely offline. Like, you record it, you post it. And a lot of times with, like, streaming and gaming content, where I think a lot of people don't necessarily fail, but don't succeed where others do, is that they don't interact with those comments. They don't interact with the comments, the likes. They don't make any time for their offline stuff because within the streaming space, in particular, everything's done online. You've got a lot more of your interactions with chat. It's actively going while you're streaming. Excuse me.
W.
That one hurt. I'm sorry.
You're okay. No worries. You're totally good. So this is another thing to bring up too.
You're live streaming.
Yes, and I do visual signals to myself. The tip of the cap means something. The point finger to the left means something. Everything means something to me from an editing perspective because you can't always get it audibly.
Oh yeah.
So like for me, the tip of the cap means check for edit. The point to the left means solid point, look at a short type deal. So I do visual stuff that a lot of people don't see that I can pull things together from.
Yeah, and it's definitely helpful too with the way that you're doing it. I'm very much used to like just offline. You have to like that's how you build your community. And a lot of times too, you don't see the return on podcasting that you would with live streaming, which I'm sure you get the best of both worlds doing both. But if you're doing just a podcast, if you're not keeping up with that, which people don't normally interact with podcasts like they do with live streaming or with even just short form content, because it's just listen and it's gone. And you have to like really build a confidence within yourself for podcasting too, because you don't get those normal interactions. You have the ones that pop up when somebody, what was the statistic? I looked up, it's like 1 out of every 150 people that listen to your podcast will respond to it, like in a comment.
And that is really, really, really big to pay attention to, because like when you're looking at podcasting versus content versus streaming, podcasting is very unique. In order to make a podcast grow, you need to post about it. You need to create its own socials. You need to interact with everybody who follows. You need to allow yourself opportunity. You need to, if you're bringing on guests, you need to tag your guests. You need to make sure that they're visible too. And that's the reason why I decided to live stream it into long form content, into shorts. I wanted to take the YouTube route with my podcast, and it's been starting to work. People have been starting to see it. People have been starting to pay attention to it. People have been starting to reach out and say like, hey, how do I get on the podcast? And the reason why it's starting to reach so many people is I'm using the RSS feed from a video perspective to post onto Spotify, and then I'm actually posting the edited live stream video onto YouTube. And then I'm taking shorts from each one of those podcasts, and I'm consistently creating that style of content to be able to continuously push the podcast and draw people into the live streams and draw people into the videos. And from a marketing perspective, podcasting is huge on that type of stuff. And you have to look at everything from a marketing perspective, not only respond to the comments, but you want to give variety to the people that are going to be your potential audience. And in this case, it's crazy because it's streamers, and streamers are like, yo, this is great. This is awesome information. I want to take this and I want to actually expand on this, because I've had so many times where someone has taken a quote from one of my shorts and then pushed it out into their own long form content and expanding on the topic. And I love it when that happens, because it just means that more people are taking initiative to talk about certain things. So, and that's the beauty of like podcasting, is like the interaction between you and your offline chat is so important. It is so useful. It is so beneficial. And we have to strive to keep an interactive audience and an interactive podcast. And speaking of which is why I say chat, we see you, we love you, and we love every single one of your comments. And sometimes we may or may not respond, but sometimes we might. So it's just stuff like that, like being able to create that interactive stuff within the live stream and continuously do that on top of my streaming stuff as well. Yeah. So what was the moment that you realized, yo, people are actually resonating with what I'm doing as a podcaster and as a creator?
I think I'm still kind of like right now as like a streamer and a VTuber, I'm still kind of like in that phase of like waiting for that to happen. But when I was doing the podcast, I think for me it was when I would get messages or people would tweet out, for example, because it was like I would post about them on Twitter when people would tell me that they were waiting for the next episode. For me, that was the moment that I was like, oh wow, I like it's working. People are liking it because with podcasting, like I said, mine was just recording, editing, and then uploading onto a podcast platform like Zcast. And for me, it was like people being like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it!" And Zcast used to have a comment section on it too, and they would be like, "I can't wait to hear the next episode." So for me, that was the moment that I was like, "Oh, yay! It's not just like me taking like 3 hours out of my day to talk to somebody. It's like other people are enjoying it."
Affirmations in regards to the content space are huge and really help push your content style, and especially like your podcasting style. And like to me like I definitely resonate with that, because I've had people commenting saying, "Oh my god, you're actually really good at this. You're actually a really good host. You actually kind of bring things together and kind of piece things together really well." And I'm like, Really? I just am talking. That means like you actually like the way I'm talking? That's weird. Are you weird? Because I'm weird." And it just works out in this weird clusterfuck that turns into percussive in the PSP podcast, And like, it's a beautiful thing to like be able to resonate with with creators and to be able to bring people together. And that's, you just see it with how I interact and how I talk about content and it's just a beautiful thing, man. Like, it really is. Like, I've said it once and I'll say it before. The biggest compliment that a creator can get from anybody, whether it be in chat or from another creator, is, "Hey, I really like what you're doing, man. I really like your content." And that resonates with us the most. Like, it truly does. Also hosts, but hosts are a whole different story. Like, we'll get into that later. So you mentioned like offline chats. You mentioned like being able to resonate with the community, and what connections between live streaming and podcasting do you think can apply to all creators?
I would have to say that filling that dead space.
Mhm.
Right. So it's so contradictory because
Okay.
some of us took in high school called a public speaking class.
I failed
It
public
was
speaking.
it was it was an entire class based off of public speaking, and you learn to not say ums or that's or this or that and stuff like that when you're providing any type of public speech. And within the streaming and the podcast space, sometimes that does fit. Sometimes you need to add extra that into the discussion to allow yourself that half a second extra time to fully process what you're going to say, what you think you're going to say, and put it as eloquently as possible, but also get it across to where people understand it without feeling the need to reiterate it in a way that you feel other people may understand it.
Absolutely. And so I'm so bad with public speaking, and which is really ironic because I became a speaker. And I'm so bad that I failed public speaking. And when I do my podcast or I make my content, I say a lot of ums. I have a lot of pauses. I have a lot of dead space. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to fucking own that. And I'm going to put that as part of my content, because there's something that people don't necessarily do. And I was actually talking to one of my old public speaking professors and listening to my stuff, and he's like, "You know what? It works. Do you know why it works? Because you make it work. And it's weird and I don't understand it, but it actually works." And it's so cool that like specific people with their interactions can do specific things. And like, for example, I just said like, and typically in public speaking, you don't want to say like, you don't want to say but I analyze everything, and I have to compare things with likes and ums and thises and that's and stuff like that, because that's what makes things work. So that's why I think the world of content and the world of podcasting combined is being enthusiastically yourself, because no one can ever repeat something that you're going to be able to put out.
That's very true, because the connection that even if you have somebody who has a similar personality, because let's be honest, there's 7 billion people in the world.
Yes.
Maybe more than that. There's people gonna share your personality, your likes, your dislikes, everything else when it comes to being you as a person. But what people connect with is the relatability within yourself
Mhm.
and who you are down to a base level, right? We've got people that are just like us, but they are different from us because of the way that they carry themselves or like different little tiny things. I don't say likes and ums all that much because of my public speaking that drilled it into me. I passed
Mhm.
it actually. I won an award for my public speaking in high school. But
And it shows
and
with
I
what
just
with how you're
contradicted
speaking
myself.
now. Well, it shows with how you're speaking now, but then again, you're also talking with me, and I'm an influence on people, so you might be picking up some of my ums, and that's okay. You can work those out over time.
No, my
but,
brain just dies. Let's be clear.
Hey,
It happens all the time.
But content creators have scatterbrain, and it happens. Like you could have this amazing, perfect point, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and then it'll come back like 5 minutes later. But this is what I love about the world of content, and it's that everybody is completely different. And you said it yourself that everybody resonates with you, or not everybody. So a select group of people will be able to resonate with you based off of what you have and what you're putting forward. And we're all human beings. We're all trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to grow. And there is no actual like script that's going to let you grow, because if there was, then everybody would grow. And we are just in our own way, in our own time, in our own manner.
I think that's another thing. If I could tell anybody, like, don't listen entirely to those. This is how you'll be a big streamer. Like, follow this guide and you'll make it. You'll get like Twitch partner, or you'll get Kick partner, or you'll get YouTube creator. Like, because what worked for them doesn't necessarily work for you. But also, a lot of people fail to realize that within the content creation space, even if you have like the most deadpanned or the most passionate, a lot of luck is also involved in that equation.
Yes,
Just
there is.
being at the right place at the right time. And you don't know what that right place is or that right time and what that right video is. So you have to just keep doing it and pray that you get that, you hit that moment.
So there are many hats that we have to wear as creators, podcasters, and how we're doing. And a lot of people don't see the stuff that we do behind the scenes. This 1.5 hour long podcast had an hour-long tech session prior. This hour-long podcast, we are our own technical engineers. We are our own auditory engineers. We're our own visual engineers. We are our own creators, our own editors, our own video networking. We do ourselves. We push things out there by marketing in specific ways. You have to have an idea of what SEO is and how to understand metrics to be able to get your videos to actually have views. Otherwise, you're just going to post something out there with the wrong hashtags and people are just going to not even see it. Like, you have to understand basic marketing 101 in order to be a content creator. And honestly, I wouldn't even say 101. I would say probably 501. Like,
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm actually bringing on somebody who has been a marketing lead for 11 different marketing companies to talk with me about how to market in content. And it's going to be a really cool podcast, because marketing and networking are how you grow in the world of content. I would not have met you unless I started interacting with you, whether it be on Twitter or whether it be through somebody else's chats. And you wouldn't have found out about my podcast and what I do if it wasn't from us interacting in different facets. The conversations start from the heart, and they start with you actually being involved in the community. And that's where things start from the first place. And as an aspiring creator, you got to think like that too.
Yeah, very much.
So what is your thought on the amount of hats that we wear as creators or podcasters? Like, what do you think is your best hat, and what do you think is your worst hat?
Oh, my worst hat, hands down, is editing. I can't stand it. I'm gonna be so honest.
That's valid. That's valid.
I cannot stand video editing. I hired Feeds, which you've had on a previous podcast. I hired Feeds. He does all my shorts now, because if I can pass it off to someone, I'm very much the type of person who can pass it off. Recently, Popo is somebody that I met through Rora's community. And he was like, I can help you with Discord. I was like, I'll give you the admin role. do it. I don't want to.
I am a huge, massive Discord nerd, and like
I am so bad. I am technologically declined. Like, I'm horrible at it.
When it comes to Discord, I am an admin for some people with multi-millions of followers. I'm an admin for people who have like 12 different followers. And like, as people continue to grow, like, it's just how things are. It's like we work together in the content world industry. But anyways, I'll let you get back to talking about hats because I could derail things and like talk for hours.
Me too.
Professional yappers.
Hands down.
W.
Woo! That's why my name is Lainey Talks.
Yeah. And I don't know why my name is Perk. Oh wait, yeah, it's because I'm a drummer. Ba-doom-ps. All right. Edit out.
No, for like for the hands down like video editing is hands down my worst hat. Like
yes.
I so much rather pay somebody. And I do that for a lot of things. In my terms for like being a VTuber too, like art is also not my big thing. Like I can't draw. I used to at some point. If you go and like look far enough on my Twitter, you can see where I was like, oh yeah, I'll do art commissions. And I did a few of them and I was like, this sucks. I'm not doing it anymore. I would say my best hat though is voice acting, and I think overall just I don't know what my best hat is. I'm gonna be honest.
Honestly, from what I've seen so far, I think one of your best hats is your style of communication because it's really genuinely awesome. And I'm not trying to be like sappy, but like the way that you communicate is so fluid and so vivid, and it's really awesome and cool to see. And like I can 100% understand why your community would want to engage with you because of how you hold yourself, and it's really cool.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. Don't do this to me. I don't take compliments well.
Do any creators take compliment well?
No.
Yeah,
I would say though, I think the hat that I'm probably the most confident in is my ability to come up with ideas. I've got at any given moment about 10 projects going on in the background. Some of them may see the light of day, some of them may not. But also, I have a lot of ideas all the time.
For me, I'd say my worst hat is my ability to market. I don't know anything about SEO metrics. I don't know anything about how to properly post on specific platforms. And I had like a 2-hour long conversation with somebody the other day, and I'm like, wait, you can do that on YouTube? Like even today, like we're sitting here pre-podcast and she's like, oh yeah, you can invite people to your YouTube videos. I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, what? You can? That's cool.
Well, that's a relatively new one, the collaborators. Because I've had my YouTube for like ever, I don't have to have like the whole like waiting period that they have you now for some of their guidelines.
Right.
But I've had like my YouTube forever. It was originally singing videos, if you can believe that. I used to put myself singing.
The W.
There.
That's a W. If you can sing, that's a W. I tried singing in karaoke. No. I was terrible. I'm awful a singer, but I mean, I can belt when I want to.
So because of that, though, I've like been a long time subscriber to like YouTube. Whenever they're like, "Oh, we've updated this. This is what we're gonna do," I was like, "Oh, okay." I saw the collaborators thing, and that's when I've been like, "Oh, okay." So it's more than just like tagging them in the title, like what we do during streams. You add them to the collaborator, and it spreads it to their audience, which is great. I've loved that they've added that.
That is genuinely like a really cool feature of YouTube. And as I said before, I'm going to have to go back through some of my past podcasts and make sure I add everybody who I've had on as a collaborator so that their viewers can actually see like the amazing stuff that they're putting forward in this different setting. And like, for me, I'd say like my best hat is my technical side. I can pull OBS in and out. I can rip it apart. I can pull Meld in and out. I can rip it apart. In order for me to start using a broadcasting software, I need to know every single in and out of it. I need to read the entire manual. I need to go in and pretty much do everything with that type of stuff for me to be able to do specific things and like add specific bots and like learn how specific things work. And like from a streaming perspective, I use Lumia a lot. Lumia has been one of my best friends. The stuff that Lumia can put together, both from a Kick side, Twitch side, YouTube side, is just absolutely astronomical and so cool. But there's so many things out there from a technical side that I could just talk people's brains on, to the point where I actually had Chillin' with Dev join the podcast a couple episodes back, and we did an entire segment on what technical expertise you should be looking at. And the technical side is so vast, whether you use Mix It Up bot, Streamer bot, Lumia bot, like whether you use Kickbot to be able to eliminate certain messages out of your Kick chat, whether you use Siri bot to remove all the bots. Not you, Siri. I love you, but no thank you. Sorry, my phone lit up. But there's so many different tools out there. Frosty tools to be able to go back into your VOD clip things to do chat stuff like that. It's huge.
Well, I mean, I think one good thing with, well, not one good thing, there's been several good things that have come about it, but like, I think with the introduction of Kick and not having all the things that like Twitch has, right? It's allotted a lot of developers to develop things and push them to other people as like a workaround, or having that kind of included for the like for other streamers to have it. Like before the controversy, let's be honest, the Kick tools was also really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It was a great thing. It brought chats together on screen. It, had a whole bunch of things going for it that a lot of people enjoyed. And it's cool to see. It's cool to see the growth within just even developers too, with the introductions of new things.
It really is. And like, there's so many different controversies that happen within the streaming world, and it's unfortunate to see some of those things transpire. But like, you're right. You hit the nail on the head. The developers to be able to develop certain things, and you're bald again. Hello.
I'm bald. I'm
But
bald.
it's like being able to like find those tools, and like to shout out the developers that are doing so much with such a new platform like Kick. It's so cool. And like, Kick has its perks. Kick has like really good discoverability. Well, Kick has the best discoverability out of any platform right now, and I think it's because it's a newer platform. In my opinion, I've found more people with 7 to 10 followers than I have on any other platform. When I go on a Twitch, I will never find somebody with 7 to 10 followers. It'll always be, oh look, Aiden's live. Oh look, Emmy Roo's live. Oh, you should follow this person who also has 100% followers. But like, I would also say, like, if you can also argue saying YouTube has better discoverability than Kick, but like, when it comes to streaming platforms, sole streaming platforms, I think Kick takes the cake. So
Kick takes the kick. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kick takes the kick, but they take the nod.
They
And,
take
like,
the nod. They take the very exaggerated bouncy nod. Ready? Here we go. I think for me too, including with podcasting, including with podcasting, you really just kind of have to post it everywhere and stream where you're comfortable. Like if you're gonna stream your podcast, stream it where you're comfortable, right? Stream it where you feel like is best. For me personally, like I stream to both Twitch and Kick, and that's because I've got an audience that loves to watch me on Twitch. And some of them have been very gracious in making an account and going over to Kick for me. And they've stated that before, but they do prefer to watch on Twitch. And there's people that prefer to watch on Kick. And it's like, you know what? Best of both worlds. Don't limit yourself. Same with podcasting. Post it to Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever. iHeartRadio, if that's still a thing.
I'm really trying to log into my Spotify for creators so I can list all the RSS feeds that they have for it. And like, because like Spotify for creators has a whole list of things that you can like choose out of. I'll have to do it on my other account, but like we're not going to do that now because it's going to take me too long to try to figure out all that stuff. But like, being able to go into something like Spotify for podcasters and finding places for your RSS feed to go, whether it be like Audacity, Apple Music, like Prime Podcasts.
Oh, there's so many of them.
There's a million of them, and every single one has different audiences, has different viewpoints, and people will watch it. It's a lot of things don't even have analytics. But speaking of analytics, so we talk about
Ignore them.
You said true to an extent.
Ignore
but
them to an extent, yes.
what do you think? Which platform has the best analytics for streamers, content creators, or podcasters?
I think short-term analytics, Twitch. I'm going to be honest. I think Twitch really does have the best short-term analytics. In terms of long-term, YouTube. I think YouTube has the way that they do their analytics based off of like it's extremely in depth. So for certain people like me, for example, I don't want any of my content whatsoever to reach children. I am not a children's streamer. My kids are listen to me cuss and stuff like that, but I'm not going to be responsible for anybody else's kids. My stuff is not meant for children. I'm not a children's streamer. Things get sexual sometimes, things get spicy, things get sweary like a sailor. And you can really like take the analytics within YouTube, especially long term, to like really take a deep dive like, oh, this video is hitting this age group. Now I kind of know like I don't want that to happen, which thankfully I am proud. Hands on my own back. My YouTube analytics tell me that I have never reached anybody under the age of 13 or 18. Nobody. So I love it.
Honestly, like with me, like I would agree with you, and I really do like the way YouTube puts everything together from an analytics perspective. And like there's so many different things that you can like get. Like Twitch is also really great on the analytics game too, but like there are specific analytics as creators that we have to look at. And also I finally did find I was able to log into Spotify for podcasters, and now I can finally start seeing everything where my RSS feeds are going. But one of the coolest things about analytics is not about what happens during the live stream, like actively. And for example, I do not have my dashboards up ever when I podcast. I actually don't.
Oh yeah, me either.
I don't have any. I don't know how many viewers I have. For all I know, I have 15 viewers on Twitch, and I won't even know. Maybe I have 3. Maybe I have 1. I don't know, but you know what? Some people are actually actively watching and listening, and that's what's really important to me because the majority of my podcast stuff, as I've said, comes offline. The majority of the podcast viewership and interactions that I get come offline, and they're excited for the episodes to be posted once a week or sometimes 3 times a week. It really depends on like what we decide to put forward. And from an analytics perspective, the important thing to note is your viewer count, but not the height when it drops. So the reason why that's important is because maybe you said something that drew people away. Maybe people got bored. Maybe an ad started. And once you start looking at those analytics, you can start figuring out what you can do to keep people around. So the ad comes and no one subbed. Hey, well, if you guys subscribe to me on Twitch, you might be able to avoid any ads. And it's really cool. So, like, stuff like that is what I think people, especially new creators, should pay attention to. What happens when you go from 3 to 1? What did you say? What did you do? What drew people away? That's so important.
Sorry.
No,
I am
okay.
experiencing the typical VTuber scuff. Okay.
No worries. You are good.
Typical VTuber scuff happens. I've been trying to like get my audios and stuff worked out, and now Twitch is telling me that it's unstable.
Oh, your Twitch is unstable?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. See, but what you were saying about the dashboards to like bring it in, I have my dashboards up. I don't actively look at them unless I perceive something being a problem. Like on OBS, they've got the little connection thing down there, and I saw it and I was like, oh, let me check this real quick. But I don't pay attention to like numbers and stuff. Like I pay attention to the goalposts that you have when it comes to like meeting certain metrics for a partner or for a creator or for to be a part of the creator program. Like I pay attention to those. But I think with podcasting, you do kind of have to like pay attention to it like midway when you're trying to see like where did the viewership drop down, and YouTube does that as well,
Yes.
where they'll be like, oh, they watched like this up until this point, and then like so many percentage of people logged off after that.
So Spotify
And
for creators does that, but it also breaks it down by platforms. Like, funny enough, 24% of my viewership comes from YouTube. 33% comes from Spotify. And any guesses on what you think my top podcast platform is?
your top platform?
Mm-hmm.
Well, for podcasting, I would assume it would be Spotify, because Spotify does really, really well for podcasting.
That's my number 2.
But,
and
I'm
YouTube's my
bald!
number 3.
I'm bald!
So-
Bumbo made me bald again. Sorry.
You're good. You don't have to apologize for being bald. I mean, like, I'm going bald too, so.
Rory's got one where she's bald. She's bald and she's torturing people who have hair.
So,
I love it.
my number 1 is Apple Podcasts.
Nice.
And
I
it's-
wouldn't have expected that because I don't use it.
But neither would I. It's like the majority of my viewership, actually, I have 68% comes from the US, and a lot of it comes from the United Kingdom. And I even have some people who pay attention to my podcast from Brazil. But Apple Podcast
From Brazil.
Apple Podcast is 42% of my active viewership. And that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and like being able to see. And you can like look at your analytics and look to see what's your generative age range that people get. And like most of the people who watch my podcast are anywhere between 28 and 34. I have 0% under 18. And it's really cool to see that inside of your Spotify for podcasts, because it genuinely takes the analytics from every platform and combines them. But
Sorry,
the
I'm trying to also fix scuff.
no, you're totally okay. And I can delve on like analytics and stuff like that, but like as a newer creator, really the only analytics that you should focus on are people active in your chat? And if not, how can you make them active in your chat? Because that is how you become an affiliate on Twitch, and that's how you retain followers and gain followers on Kick. And I think as a streamer, as a podcaster, as somebody who wants to create something and do something, that's the most important thing. So what is your mindset for a newer creator? What do you want them to know going into the content space for the first time?
That's difficult because there's so many things that you can say when it comes to that. Because I think it just depends on everybody's experience. They're like, oh, do this. Because like a lot of people would be like, don't focus on the negative. And that's usually somebody who says that is somebody who deals with a lot of negative. I don't necessarily, because I just kind of stay in my lane. I think from my perspective on the content creation space is you really, really have to invest you, but not all of you. Like, it's perfectly okay to only invest 50% of yourself rather than 100%. Everybody said put 100%, put 100% in it. And for me, it's extremely difficult to invest 100% of myself into everything because I've got kids, I've got my husband, I've got a household that I have to run, I've got a pet, I've got so many other things that I have to do on a regular basis besides just streaming. I'm not a single, Pringle out there in the world. So for me, I've got a lot of things that I have to kind of manage the percentage of what I put in. So whatever you're doing, make sure that you've got a passion for it so you can invest as much. So right now, 50% for me is my 100%, and that's okay. And I think that's everybody has their own percentage of themselves. You don't have to fully dive 100%, but invest yourself where you can handle it.
Absolutely agree. 95% of what creators do is introspective work in understanding your own limits and understanding your own schedules and learning about yourself. Because once you do learn about yourself, you're able to go to that next level, that next area. And like you said it best, passion is what allows you to grow. If you're doing something and you're not passionate about it in a moment, people are going to tell and people are going to leave. So
Oh, for sure.
understanding what makes you tick is going to allow others to be able to connect with you to enjoy the content that you're putting forward. And I say 95% of what content creators do is introspective work, because we have to look at our video analytics to see, all right, this video didn't do well. Why? One of my favorite things about YouTube is YouTube implemented an AI, and the AI on YouTube will actually analyze your channel, and you can ask it what videos should you post based off of your content, and you can find that in the creator dashboard. Maybe it's because I'm in beta and I got that, but it's one of the coolest things ever. I said based off of my analytics, on my main channel, what should I post next? And they said prop hunt, and I'm like, really, prop hunt?
What?
So my prop hunt content, for whatever reason, has blown up, and people love it. I don't know why. It does better than my Warzone content. It does better than my Search and Destroy content. It does better than my Valorant content and my Repo content. But they said, based off of what you've seen or what we see within your profile, prop hunt is your best bet to have something blow up. So the next video I'm putting out is prop hunt. And it's really cool to talk about, like, or to ask the AI that type of things. And like, I'm really curious to see how my next group set of videos does, because if YouTube is telling you the secrets already and what to do based off of their AI, that might be the next move. Because we gotta understand the tools out there.
vidIQ will also do that. Yeah, vidIQ is really good for that.
But doesn't
If you're looking
vidIQ
for
cost a
content.
subscription?
Yeah, you would have to subscribe for it, but it's definitely like, I don't subscribe to it. I have the free version, and even then,
Mhm.
it still does just fine. It gives you some like minor like things. You don't get the full in-depth analytics and stuff that they have, but it's still pretty good. Give me just a second. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try restarting my stream because something's happening and I don't know what it's going on. So give
No,
me just a second.
not
I'll
a
still
problem
talk
at
to
all.
you, but like I'm also restarting stuff. So if I'm a little
Yeah.
behind, that's why.
No, absolutely. I can go on to like one of my tangents here too and talk about like some of the stuff that I really think is interesting for creators to know, because like when it comes to content creation, and because this podcast is dedicated to inspire aspiring creators, what we really see in the world of content is we see a lot of people trying to put themselves on a higher pedestal than what they're ready for. And when I keep saying, going back and saying 95% of content creation is introspective work, it's understanding where you're at in the moment, understanding what you're ready for, trying to look to see back on what you can do to allow yourself the opportunity to grow. Because the world of content is such an incredible place, and you are going to get out of it what you put into it. And I say this consistently, whether you're a podcaster, whether you're a streamer, whether you're a YouTuber, whether you're just edit content, there's only one journey, and it is what you make it. Any platform is super important to dive into, learn the analytics, learn the metrics. Like, I have someone teaching me Facebook and Meta Suite, and I don't know shit about it. And now that like I'm starting to look into that, I'm starting to learn things that I've never even thought of. Facebook, and I know we hate Facebook, it's a boomer platform, but Meta Suite, Meta Business Suite will put your stuff out there and then give you recommendations in challenges that will eventually help push your videos out even more. And if you meet those base level requirements, those base level goals, your content is going to push way more. So not just,
Okay, I'm back.
yeah, welcome back.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
you're totally fine.
I was having streamer stuff. It wasn't working.
And that's really interesting, because like when it comes to like the streamer stuff, like understanding bitrate, understanding the limitations of your computer is also something else that like I wish aspiring streamers knew. Understanding the conversion between bitrate and CBR to be able to look back to see what your computer is capable of handling. So whenever someone wants to go live for the first time, the first thing I tell them is do an internet speed test. Because understanding the limitations of your internet and your upload speed is going to be huge to putting forward the content that you want to put forward. Some people have fiber, and I'm jealous of them. I don't. So
I have 2 gigs up and down. We just upgraded it because I had shit Shitrum
Mm-hmm.
Spectrum.
Yeah,
I
that's
had
what I
that
have.
for a while, and we updated to AT&T, and I got 2 gigs up, 2 gigs down. And he's like, "That's overkill." I'm like, "Yeah, because I don't want Spectrum anymore."
There's
I did this because Spectrum.
there is no fiber in my area, unfortunately, and it's shocked because I live in a major city. But the fact that there's no fiber in my area means that I have to do a speed test before I run my gigabytes out, or my internet out, because I'm sending Twitch solo, and then I'm sending Meld solo, and that takes up 12 gigabytes of my upload speed. So depending on the rest of my upload speed is depending on what I can put out to the rest, like if I can stream to TikTok or not. You know, it's something that you have to learn how to understand. And like the best thing to say is 1000 kbs is equal to 1 megabyte per second.
Yeah, but like Twitch has a max too. It's like 6 kbs or something like that, that you can only have kbps.
Twitch
is,
accepts
like,
up to
the
10
max.
now.
Hmm?
Twitch accepts up to 10 now.
Do they?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you can actually
Why is it
stream
doing
you know what?
No. So that's why. So my stream scuff,
Uh-huh.
right? I have enhanced broadcasting on for within OBS for Twitch, and it was causing issues because it wasn't outputting it to 1080p.
Gotcha.
Turn that off.
I don't
And
even-
it was going to 1080p, and that's what I was getting my scuff on. But if they do it to 10, I can do 10.
I don't even know
2 gigs
where
up.
I don't even know where advanced broadcasting is in OBS. So I don't even know how to see that.
Enhanced.
Oh yeah.
So it's when
enhanced.
you're attached to Twitch.
Mhm.
They,
Oh, which
there's
I
this
am.
little thing. It says enhanced broadcasting on your output. Or wait, what is your stream? Yeah, your stream. It says enable enhanced broadcast.
Oh yeah. No, I have that unchecked. And the reason
That's
why
what I had to. I had mine unchecked, so it will do 1080p. But I just checked it because now my scuff is gone. Like it's in 780p, so apparently you can't have that checked and 1080p. It doesn't work.
Yeah, well, I actually refuse to stream it to Twitch in over 6,000 kilobytes per second. I actually stream everywhere at 6,000 kilobytes per second because I record super high. So
Yeah.
as a creator,
Well, for you, recording content's more.
Yes, recording content is vastly more important. And this is also something I want newer creators to know is like understand that upload speed equates to your stream. Download speed equates to your recording content. So you have to keep in mind in the vast jungle that is technology, how much internet is being utilized from your download speed. So I can have, all right, I have 15 tabs open on computer 1, 15 tabs open on my streaming PC. So how much internet is that going to take? And now I have to also understand that I'm recording at 55,000 CBR. And that's what I personally record at. That's 55 megabytes worth of data that I'm using just for recording. So that's something you have to think about. It's something you have to put in an Excel sheet and kind of look into to see what your household can handle.
Yeah. And then it's one thing too, because everybody's like, that's overkill. Don't worry. Overkill's fine. Don't worry about overkill. If you can have overkill, get overkill. If you can afford overkill, have the overkill, because it'll save you in the long run. It is so much better. Take it from another scuff streamer. It is so much better that if you can handle all the bumps and bruises before, because if you have to do it during, that does retract your viewers, especially when you like say you don't have in the podcast, because this is podcaster, right? If you don't have clear enough like muting of your background audio and somebody hears your kids in the background, it'll distract from the feeling that they're getting during the conversation. So you have to make sure that you have all of that set up beforehand, because then
and
like when I had the podcast too, we didn't have quite as busy of analytics, but there was a couple people that said, I heard your kids in the background and I'm not here to listen about kids. So I like turned off the podcast and didn't listen to the rest. I was like, that's so sad. Please don't do that.
And that's such a huge point that you bring up, especially from a podcasting perspective, because when you look at SFX, SFX is going to be what makes us sound decent. The voice, you're a voice actor, so we can talk about the SFX for hours. Like being able to properly enunciate yourself, find the proper EQ, equalizer that you need for your microphone is huge. So if I pull up to a podcast, and I'm actually going to put this in the recording, this is going to be really, really cool. So if I show up to a podcast like this, what do you think people... Sorry, I missed one. What do you think people are going to think if you're hearing this with my fan in the background?
You're in a car.
It sounds like I'm in a car, right? So what you need to do is find your right noise removal software. So I use Elgato noise removal software, and now I sound okay. I don't sound great. What I'm missing is my limiter. So what we say by limiter is if I start saying H, 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 you're not going to hear everything. When I add my limiter, you're going to start hearing things a little bit clearer. When I add my my cap, my noise filter, you're going to start hearing things, and everything comes together once I implement my noise filter. These are the types of things that I love teaching people when it comes to audio.
For sure. And it's so important within voice acting too, because a lot of times you can have directors and their own audio engineers be like, well, we want the waveformat, which is no editing whatsoever. And if you can eliminate those background sounds that they have to isolate and edit, you'll be like their favorite. Like, we love editing the audio. It's so crisp, it's so clean, and there's no editing to it. But also, when you're trying to like edit yourself, you want to make sure you want to make it as simple as possible for you.
Absolutely.
And it really does take some time. I've been working on my mic scuff for like years now, and I just got it to a point with the help of somebody else to like where it sounds like it does. We were talking about was a couple days ago in my streams. They're perma peak.
Yes.
Because I get so loud that it's so hard to like regulate it.
And when I do my Call of Duty streams, I'll scream. And this is where you have to find out the correct level within your noise filter, within your background noise removal, so it doesn't make you sound like if I, oh my God, stop doing that pitch. You got to be able to find a way to cap that without actually cutting yourself out. Because if I go higher, if I do what I typically do, and I'm like, you may not hear everything.
Yeah.
You might in Discord, but you probably...
It's also extremely like to your own voice as well.
Exactly.
You can have a bass like somebody else, but you do have to kind of fuck around with it a little bit.
So when we're talking about being our own audio engineer, this is what we mean. Yep. We actually have to watch those YouTube videos. We have to teach ourselves what we need. We have to listen to what we need. We have to watch what we need. And like, it takes recording. It takes feeding back. It takes being able to listen to your own self. Like when I have to listen to my own self, I have to actually literally listen to my own self feedback through a specific piece to be able to hear what my mic is doing and how I sound. And that's how I can adjust things, because that's how things work. But being able to identify the stuff like for voice acting, like, and I do want to touch on like your voice acting stuff, because like it's so huge to be able to go in through and edit, to be able to like learn things. Like, what voice acting stuff do you think really had you push yourself into podcasting?
I'm going to be honest. I don't think it was voice acting that pushed me into podcasting. I think it was me wanting to connect with more people. Because while you've got voice acting Twitter, which is extremely, that's a whole other ball game that I can get into a discussion for. But like having the connection with people to have conversations. I'm a very conversation type of person. When it comes to like text, I'm not really a texter all that much. Like, I'll do very short messages, but like I prefer somebody call me.
Same.
Like I'll sit in a Discord call with somebody, like my friend excuse me, my friend Kelly, Mrs. Violence. She and I will sit in Discord calls all day. We're doing other things. I'm doing stuff with the kids, making dinner, cleaning the house, whatever it may be. And she's doing whatever she needs at her PC, but we're just sitting in call, because that's how I gravitate connection with people, is through conversation.
Yes.
I really, really, but she's in my chat right now laughing at me. But I really gravitate towards conversations with people. So for me, it's incredibly important to have that. And that's where the podcasting for me had come in. but because I wanted to connect with, I wanted to connect with not only other voice actors, but fellow anime lovers.
And that is so huge, like for me too. Like I would much prefer to sit in a voice chat and just talk to people than I would a text. And like literally I use voice to text when I tweet. I'll have a really goofy thought and then I'll use voice to text to type it out, double check to make sure it's grammatically correct, and then I'll post it. But like I would much prefer to hop in a voice call, talk it out, hash it out, and you have completely changed.
I have. Give me a second.
No, you're okay. You're okay. She changed clothes, chat. But
guys, I did it. Don't do what I just did.
But
don't forget your words. It's not good.
But like being able to establish that voice connection with somebody and have that like actual phone call conversation to me is so much more rewarding of an experience from a friendship perspective and from just general perspective. Like,
yeah.
There's
also, I think also at the same time too, it's like you can really get the intention behind what people are saying. Like,
yes.
With text, you're like, oh, that's cool for you. I'm very much an overthinker. So for me, that's cool for you is like, that's cool for you. Or cool for you, I'm happy for you, like type of thing. It can be taken so many different ways. So for me, having the be able to hear the verbal incantation, that's not the word. Inflection and deflection and the way that people speak for emphasis
visual cues
on what they're saying is so important to me.
It's so important to be able to have that mutual connection and like that visual connection for me. And like I know it's like when it comes to
I'm bald.
I know that when it comes to like VTubing, like there's different ways to have the visual cues, but like when it comes to voice chat, like being able to see somebody genuinely be like interact with you is so important. And like that's why like I like in-person conversation the best. Obviously, if I had to pick between in-person conversation, voice chat, like I'd say in-person conversation is the absolute best because you can really see what's going on. Now, when I'm podcasting, on the other hand, my eyes are going every which direction, which is why I have 3 scenes. I have the me alone scene, I have the both of us scene, and I also have the scene that's just my guest. And like these scenes that I have will allow me to be able to have that visual cue to the audience and to be able to connect with my guest as well. And again, I can talk for hours about how visual cues are so important and like they create like a huge connection because like there's a psychology behind it. But realistically, like when I'm doing podcasting stuff, I'm looking at every analytic, every voice modulation that's going on to make sure that everything is coming in a proper way from a visual and auditory perspective. So, and that's super important to think about. Like your main thing from podcasting is your audio that's being put out.
Oh, 100%. That audio needs to be crisp.
Mm-hmm.
Crisp. You need to hear all the I'm bald again.
You need to hear that.
Yeah, I'm bald.
And what's really awesome, even you doing that, it never goes past the nominal decibel of 10 or of -10. And that is what's so important with audio control. And
it didn't before. I sat in a call with Ferathum. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Ferathum VT. They're I'm outing them. They're a Discord person. Not Discord. Botrix. I don't know anything. I don't know anything, guys. I'm dumb.
Botrix.
Botrix. We love Botrix. He was helping me today, sitting in it, and my audio would not be what it is right now if it wasn't for him. So, cheers for Ferathum.
I mean, your audio sounds great. So, like,
thank you. It's Ferathum. It's Ferathum. It's entirely Ferathum. And my audio was horrible before because I get so loud and I get so quiet too, and it just cuts it off. Anyway, I'm gonna turn off the bald now. I'm gonna have hair again.
I love how it pops in is like the white just initially. So, yeah. As somebody, I know like in the past you did a whole lot of podcasting, but where do you like now you do a whole lot of gaming. So what do you think? How do you separate the world of podcasting and gaming, and how do you combine that to do what you do from a content perspective?
Well, from a content perspective, I think right now I'm in the taking it seriously, but not serious enough to destroy my mental health. It's the because I started gaming streams originally because I just wanted to connect with other gamers. I wanted to spend time with other gamers. I wanted to maybe potentially get some help on something that I was stuck on in games. Cause like when my husband's playing games, I'll sit there on my phone and Google how to do something. Right. I was like, we need that. But I just wanted to have a community of people who, enjoyed gaming, enjoyed talking and yapping. And for me, podcasting was getting to know people on a deeper level with a very specific niche. I don't have a niche with gaming. So for me, it's just kind of like I'm floating.
And that's really
I'm just kind of doing it for fun. I would like it to be a career eventually one day, maybe, possibly, who knows. But for me, it's just kind of I'm enjoying the time that I have. I'm not sticking to anything in particular because me as a person can't stick to anything in particular because I can't. Not I need to, yeah. I don't know how to explain it.
One of the biggest things as a creator is being able to be fluid with your content and being able to do whatever you want, however the hell you want it, which is why I have an affinity for BB Jess as a human being, because like her entire content perspective is do whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want to do it. So
But she still has her niche, which is the radio.
right, she has her niche, but well, even before like she started the radio, like she would do whatever she wanted to do because that's what she wanted to do. And people would follow her because she was being enthusiastically and authentically herself. And then it evolved into the radio thing, which got even cooler. And she took that to a whole new level. And like when it comes to content, I recently started saying, actually recently as of DreamHack, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to actually start taking content seriously. I'm going to actually start trying to edit my own stuff more, start taking long form, start actually trying to grow. And I in the past, I actually wasn't planning on being serious. I just wanted to interview people, talk to people, get to know what was going on. And then it led me to be invited as a creator. And you talk about gaming, like being so fluid and being so incredible, like having collaborations with other people in regards to gaming is one of the coolest experiences, but you have to really be mindful about the banter that comes between you guys with gaming. And I think banter and collaborations is one of the most important things. It's like being able to feed off of each other is so important. So why do you
Oh, for sure.
So what do you do to banter with your collaborator, I guess I would say? What makes you change that?
I do collaborations a bit differently. So I think a lot of people, when they do collaborations, it's very much like I've got like what's becoming a bit more popular, especially within the VTubing space, is having rules for collaborations. Like I don't want this happening. I don't want this happening. I don't allow this. I don't allow this. I have certain things that I don't allow. Like I don't allow any racism, hatred, stuff like that. Like I don't want anything obscene. We're not going to be posting like nipples or anything either. So might have to bleep that out for YouTube.
No, you're good. I'm actually running into the audio scuff right now due to network, and I'm not 100% sure as to what's going on right now. I just started dropping.
Oh, no.
I started dropping 4,000 frames, and it's still counting. So I'm gonna have to drop Twitch temporarily, guys. So if you guys are on the Purple app, please make sure you migrate.
If you guys are still on the Purple app and you like refuse to go anywhere else, I am also live on the Purple app, so you can see it over there too. If you prefer the Purple side. Twitch.
So the only thing
Twitch.
now that I have to do with because of that is I'm not going to get actual analytics for my meld stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to be dropping things from meld or not, but at least I'll get a solid recording. So now I have to
recording I think would be great.
Oh no, the recording's going to always be great. But now I actually just have to keep that up to make sure that meld is properly sending things out. And it's actually from like a kick perspective that I have to refresh the dashboard and make sure that that's up and running smooth. So
yeah.
My apologies for that, chat. Anyways, so network has been bad everywhere. I don't know what is going on in this city with networking, but it's been really, really, really bad. Like I should be getting 40 uploaded. Apparently I'm only getting 8. The fudge. I digress.
Oh, you got Spectrum. Respectfully, that's gonna happen with Spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
We
No,
paid,
it is.
I think we paid for something like really good internet anywhere else. I think it was 420 upload, or like 400 upload, or 400 download, and like 150 upload, and we only ever got like 1 or 5 if we were lucky. It was so bad.
It's, I mean, like, so internet is like the make or break when it comes to like connectivity and stuff like that, especially for streamers. Like, I'm supposed to be getting 1,000 by wow, I'm getting 500 by 20. So I'm getting 50% of the internet that I'm supposed to get. But anyways, so we've talked a lot about podcasting.
Pre-K pause. Put your audio cue. Somebody wants to see thighs, so I have to do thighs. You're gonna have thighs. 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 We've got thighs. What was Rora says? Emotional support thighs. Here you go. Wee thighs. Okay.
W emotional support thighs. Yeah, so my
W
network.
emotional support thighs.
My network is
I don't
still
own that.
dropping.
That's totally Rora.
So yeah, Twitch is just not going to happen for me. It's just going to have to be Meld that's running through. Because the moment I started streaming on Twitch, I started getting full network drops. So something drastic is going on. But I would love to yell at Spectrum tomorrow about what's going on. So we talked a lot about podcasting. We talked a lot about content creation. We talked a lot about streaming and like kind of vibing things together. So let's talk about growth. A lot of newer creators think that just growth is just going to automatically happen. So what is your advice to them in what is the best way to grow?
I would have to say posting. You know, as cliche as it is, posting to other content forms, and you know, getting your growth to me.
W.
I'm so sorry. Acid
No, you're
reflux is
fine.
not my friend.
You're okay. It's totally all right.
But I think as cliche as it is, and as much as I actually don't want to say it, it's definitely posting to other platforms. Claiming your name on other platforms, even if you don't use it, like you got to claim your name. Post to as many platforms as you can. But also don't focus too much on it, because you're gonna beat your mental down, and that's gonna stunt your growth more than anything else. If you're so focused on, okay, I want to grow, 30 followers and like every single day for a month, like that is gonna destroy you when you don't meet those metrics. Just have fun with it.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, because
Jesus
when it comes to growth, honestly, I think everybody just wants instant gratification, and in the streaming world, that's never going to happen. So one of the things that you got to learn and you got to know when it comes to content and when it comes to content is growth takes time, and you're never going to instantly have something happen and be famous unless you're Haley Welsh and you're the hot tour girl. But
Yeah.
do you know how
Man, I wish
ridiculously
sometimes.
rare that is? Do you know how ridiculously rare it is for something like that to happen? And we saw that in the world of content. So like, it is time.
That's that right place, right time type of thing.
Exactly.
Except she was the exception, because she wasn't posting. She didn't have any socials. That is what we call an industry plant. JK, I'm just kidding. Haley Welsh, if you see this, it's just a joke. But like, don't sue me. But it's right place, right time, right? You have to keep doing it until you get that right place. You have to meet it there halfway.
Absolutely agree. And like, honestly, like being able to kind of see this stuff that's occurring, and like in a world of content, it's like, you're never going to see something else like Haley Welsh happen. It just won't. You might have.
I think it will,
well,
but it'll just be different. It's not going to be like,
even
I don't think it'll be
before,
as viral.
It was the D's Nuts guy who went viral. That was the last time that
Oh
happened.
yeah.
Wasn't that was like what, 7 years difference or something like that?
These nuts.
These
got
nuts. Got him. And like we still talk about that to this day. And like having something like that happen is extremely rare. You're right, there's a whole lot of luck that comes in the world of content. But one of the biggest things that we have to talk about is consistency. If you want to grow, you need to be consistent. You have to post everywhere, and you have to post often, and you have to post great quality content. And that's having passion and just being enthusiastically and authentically yourself.
That's where I think we may disagree a little bit with the
Sure.
whole consistent thing, because
Okay.
a lot of people take consistency to be every single day, multiple times a day if needed. Because the more you post, yes, it's just like gambling, right? The
Mhm.
more you post or the more that you buy, the higher chance that you have of winning, or the higher chance, that you'll get that lucky moment. But that doesn't mean that that's something you have to do. You will burn yourself out. You might make it to a year, you might make it to 2 years, you might even make it to 10 years, but you're going to burn yourself out. And it's sometimes better than at the chance. Like, I just took a whole month break and that was great. I didn't even realize that I needed it. I didn't realize I was that burnt out, because you don't know until it catches you right at the end. Um, but consistency doesn't mean every single day. It can
Yes.
be twice a day, or not twice a day, twice a week. Could be twice every other week. Consistency means just, if your audience starting out post at random times, figure out where your audience responds to it. YouTube analytics come perfect handy with that, for what time people are watching your stuff. Find that time after maybe about like a month or two, and then consistently every time you upload it, let's say it's at 2 p.m. on the dot. Another one of my favorite creators on YouTube, besides Rora, and besides many others, is Passionate Kelsey. She has a video that goes up at 8 a.m. every Friday. I can rely that on Friday at 8 a.m. she's going to have a video. That's what people are looking for when it comes to consistency.
Yes.
Not, I'm posting every single day.
Well, and on top of that, like, for example, my own content, right? When I post, I'll post my gaming content at 7:30. That on my gaming channel, on my actual channel, I'll post at 7:30, maybe 2 to 3 times a week. And sometimes it's not every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. It's not every Wednesday, Friday. I post 2 to 3 times a week, depending. But if I post at 7:30, that's when people start to see it. And the same thing for my podcast stuff, but it's actually at 10:30, 11 o'clock. So if I'm posting some of my content, I'll post at 10:30, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and then it'll push the next day, and I'll have like 12K views on like whatever video I edited. And it's one of the coolest things to see. It's like, you're right, consistency, but not every day. And when we talk about consistency, it's about being active and showing everybody that you are active. Also, Twitch is back up because I decided to switch over to Meld, which wasn't having any broadcasting issues. Shout out to Meld. Because they have a multi-streaming tool which will allow you to actually be able to do stuff like that and be able to send things over. You learn something new every single day. But anyway, so that's what we mean by consistency. And this leads right into my next question, which is really interesting. How do you handle burnout? And what is the best way to handle burnout?
Okay. I don't think that there's a correct way.
Mm-hmm.
I really do not. Because some people do burnout by switching up their content and doing something completely different. At the same time, there are some people that shut down and they're like, I don't want to do shit. Like right now, I'm not familiar with or how closely you've been paying attention. I was making flower bouquets for my friend's wedding for 2 months. And that's like every crochet stream. The crochet streams aren't happening right now because I don't want to crochet. I spent 2 months every single day, 8 hours a day crocheting. And I'm the type of person, when I get super burnt out, I just stop. That's it. We're done. Which is also okay. Some people are like, I need to lower my schedule. Like, stop doing it every single day. Burnout for you is what you're experiencing. If you're experiencing the burnout for content ideas, slow it down. If you're type of person you're so overwhelmed that you can't get anything done to a quality that you're happy with, stop. Take a little bit of a break. Completely stop. disconnect from everything if you need to, or disconnect from making content in terms of like long form, short form, or on other platforms. If you need a break from streaming, take a break from streaming, but still do offline content, which you're seeing that take over Twitter right now.
Yes.
Focus everybody on Twitter. I'm focusing on offline content right now. So I think burnout is you approach it for you how you're experiencing it. For me, I was heavy burnout because I was starting to look at numbers. I was getting to that point where I was like, let me look at them. Let me see how I'm doing. I want to be doing better. So I had health issues, but I also had my friend's wedding. And then I had, I was like, okay, this is it. Like, this is why I need to take my month off. And that's what worked. Don't be negative. Like, don't be mean to other people, though. Like, don't be like, I'm burnt out. Fuck you. Like, no, we don't want any of that.
When you crash out, and I'm switching to my cam, if you crash out as a streamer, there will be fallback. So you have to be mindful of that within yourself. So
some crash outs are good, though. Some crash outs, you just have to get them out. And that's okay. You can determine for yourself how bad the crash out's going to be if you want to stream it or not. Well, if you think the crash out's going to be kind of mild, you just need to yell or like scream into the mic. Do that. That's fine. Stream that. But if you're going to be cussing every other word or saying slurs or whatever, maybe don't be doing that. But like, if that's what you do to crash out, then maybe don't stream it.
I couldn't agree more, because like, honestly, like when it comes to like burnout and stuff, for me, I have a little different take. So when my friends have helped me come out of my burnout more than they realize. And what I mean by that is I actually take a step back and then I watch their successes. Why do I watch their successes? I watch their successes because it allows me to be genuinely happy for the stuff that they're doing. And then the stuff that they make bounces right back and inspires me to want to make certain things too. Like when I'm in a burnout state, when I'm just like done and I don't want to stream, I don't want to play COD because COD sucks, right? We all know COD sucks. Being a Call of Duty content creator, I watch people who are actually having fun playing the game, like Steffi Evans, like Adam Poe, like people who are S&D streamers that love doing it, like Source Sausage, people who are having fun in Warzone, like I Slay Gaming, like Tactical Grandma. And like I start paying attention to the streamers that are having fun while doing it and looking at what they do and asking myself, how are they having fun and I'm not? And what I really realize is I'm trying to push myself too hard in the game, or I'm trying to push myself too hard. And I need to take that step back. I need to look deeper into myself. I need to allow my friends to be there for me when they need to. Like, things happen, but being able to look back at yourself and be introspective and find what you need to do is so important in the world of content. It really is.
Oh, 110%.
And so where do you see your community growing? What are your dreams? What is your plan for yourself as a creator or as a podcaster? Maybe you want to hop back on the podcast wheel.
Hi, Dragon! Hold on a second.
www.
Sorry.
You're okay. You're allowed.
I wanted to make sure I said hi to someone.
No, you're okay. That's important because it's your community, and it's great thing to. It's great segue into this question too.
Well, yeah, perfect. I think ultimately for me, like I have an end goal, right? My end goal for streaming in general is to eventually open my own animation studio and have that be a starting animation studio. So if somebody takes an animation or something to like Funimation and it gets denied, they can come to my animation studio and we'll produce it. Type of thing, like a gateway to get into that for a lot of people who are beginning and want to get into that. That's my extreme end goal. However,
awesome.
right, I think right now, or even just like the next year, I just want to I want to be able to put out the content that the stuff that I have planned in the background that I'm waiting for XYZ to fall into place for it to work. I want to get that stuff out. I want to start producing content that I'm truly passionate about. But I also just want to enjoy what I'm doing right now. I enjoy it, but I'm also trying to get to that point where I can, eventually have my animation studio. And I'm also just I don't want to put too much pressure. Like I've never been the type of person that's like, oh, I need to have this done by this point, otherwise I'm not going to do it anymore. I just want to enjoy it. So for me, it's just more or less being like, grow the talkers, have people find me either genuinely or through other people or through collabs or just stumble upon me for whatever deep dark internet shit, my burps, who knows? People have got burping collabs for people. But I just want this to be a space for people to come and enjoy, but also be themselves in a way that they understand that it's like, I'm being myself. I'm not putting on a character. I'm myself.
And that's so huge.
This is me.
And like
I'm so here to like just be me and enjoy the space and enjoy people within the space with me, rather than make it I have to have like everything set up. So I'm not relying on it. I think that's probably a good way to put it. This is not my career, but it's a very heavily invested hobby.
And a lot of people indulge themselves in content, whether it be from a creator perspective or from a viewer perspective, in different reasons. And it's really cool to kind of learn that and understand that, and like being able to take your hobby and take it to the next level, or take your career and take it to the next level, is always something that we kind of strive for. My biggest message to anybody going into content is never set a ceiling for yourself, and also never set a floor for yourself. And
the second you set a floor, you can immediately go past it.
And that's what leads to burnout. And that's what I started doing. I'm like, oh, cool, I'm growing. Wait, why do I have one viewer in my chat? Fuck. But it's like, don't set the floor, because the world of content is really interesting, because viewership fluctuates with the time of the year. And I've seen myself have literally 0 viewers in chat for an entire stream for multiple times, even after I became affiliate. I've seen myself with 150 viewers at one point in time in my chat too. Viewership fluctuates with the time of the year. Viewership fluctuates with how the platform's being pushed out. And viewership fluctuates just based off of whatever it is. And if you stop paying
vibe even in stream.
You said what? I'm sorry?
Even with vibes in stream.
Exactly.
Sometimes I'm super calm and chill, and sometimes I'm incredibly chaotic. And there are people who have come to me and be like, I love your streams, but I don't like when you're cussing people out on Valorant.
I love cussing people out on Valorant.
So it's like, they're like, well, I don't like this. Like, I love your cozy streams when you're just chilling out, vibing, or like even my geeking out. I have an entire community of people that I built around Sword Art Online specifically because I love it. And I have every single game except one. And they love that, and it's chill and it's grinding and it's a whole bunch of fun there, but they don't like me, my pew pew, because I get loud and I get chaotic, and that's okay. And that's what my space is, for me specifically, is centered around. Like, I want people to know, like, you may like this, and that's okay. Some people like this, and that's okay. I'm all of it in one. Just watch for the model. Whatever model I have, that's the vibe we're going for.
And vibes change consistently, like with every stream, with every interaction, with every communication, and like everything. You can't just put yourself in a box either, because the moment you put yourself in a box is the moment you're going to literally mold yourself into that image. And I had a really inspirational conversation with Razor Red, and shout out to Razor Red, and like it was very short conversation, but like a lot of things that we need to do as content creators, as streamers, as manifest things for ourselves. And it's like, because the moment you have a negative mentality, that's the moment your viewers are going to see it, and they're going to stop interacting with you as much. But if you go in with confidence and you go in with a great mentality, it's gonna push you forward, and you are gonna, the sky is literally gonna be the limit, because the most fun that you have as a streamer is gonna be the most fun that your viewers are gonna have too. And if you go in with the mentality is I'm just gonna have an absolute blast and everyone's gonna love watching me because I'm having an absolute blast, that's the mentality that you're gonna put forward. Manifestation is huge and underrated in the streaming world.
Oh, for sure. There's I don't know if you've ever read it, and for anybody who's listening, if this is included, there's a book called The Secret. It's all about the power of attraction within the universe. It's a really, really great book. I read it in high school. I think it is something that everybody should read at least once, even if they don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically about the laws of attraction. So instead of saying, and I do this often, like in home, when people are like, oh, if I do this, for example, win the lottery. If I win the lottery, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And instead of saying if, you say things like when I win the lottery.
Right.
It might not be the jackpot, but you might win like the lottery at some point. But when you change your wording and your way of thinking things will be attracted to you and come into your space because that's what you're speaking it to be. So it goes way more in depth. I'm explaining it very layman's. But if you have not read the book The Secret, you definitely should. I think it's completely inspiring, and I think that there's a Netflix documentary.
I think there is a Netflix documentary on The Secret. I've never actually read a book, but I do believe you're right. There is. There definitely is. When it comes to manifestation, and I know I'm going a little bit over our scheduled time here, so I apologize.
Me? Oh, I don't care. It's Friday. I don't have limits.
Ayo.
That's the only thing. Yeah, well, on Fridays, because my husband works during the week, so we have a rule. Fridays and Saturdays, I've got no limit. He can't tell me to get off. If he wants to go sleep, he goes on the pull-out couch. Because I have to be off by like 10 p.m. any other day. So
Gotcha. Fridays
we're good.
So when it comes to like manifestation and being positive, like the Perk Spreads Positivity, I can't even speak. The Perk Spreads Positivity podcast is literally about being positive, spreading positivity, and inspiring aspiring creators. And whenever I try to put myself out there and do anything, I like to be positive. Like even when you call it scuffed, like even when my stream started crashing, and started having network blips and network drops, and I don't know if it's still doing that, but for what I know, I think everything's okay. Like instead of me freaking out and being like, oh, my stream's dropping, oh no, the podcast is gonna be over, you keep a level head, you stay calm, and you move on to the next thing, and you always have a backup plan to your backup plan, because the show must go on no matter what you do, and you have to figure out ways to allow that to actually happen. So it's a really cool thing to be able to manifest. Sure. So
I'm bald again. I'm bald.
You go bald a lot. Your chat loves making you egghead.
This is definitely one of the more popular like Twitch redeems for a lot of VTubers. I think it was a couple months ago. I think maybe, I don't know. My time of wow. Hold on. My time perception is horribly off all of the time. But it was like a really long time ago that it started off as like one VTuber was like bald and it went viral, and now it's like one of the more popular Twitch redeems for a lot of VTubers is the bald.
It was, and like,
it's funny.
You said you were cold and you were bald and they put a sweater on you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The sweater's always there, but like bald.
Oh, I thought that.
But it's also just funny because VTubers without your hair, like you really do kind of have like an egghead.
It's awesome to see from like the VTubing community and stuff like that, and like there's a lot. Me personally, like I love Tangia. Tangia has turned into one of my favorite things as a Twitch bot to redeem, because what Tangia does is you can throw cheese at people, you can throw potatoes at people. You can't on this scene because I disabled it, but like you can actually utilize certain bots to interact with your chat and make things more interactive. And
yeah, Botrix has that, I think.
Does it?
Throwables, yeah, because I was walking about with Fire of them before. Throwable, they throw emotes and stuff at you.
I've actually seen the emote wall from Botrix, but I've actually stopped using it. I use something a little bit different for my emote walls now. But Lumia has been my go-to for like a lot of different things and like a lot of different like channel point redeems. Like if you're in my chat and you type 6-7, Mix It Up is gonna do like a little 6-7 meme or something like that. It's not going to work now because it's not on this scene. So, I mean, if you guys do end up going into my Twitch and trying it, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. But there's Uwu, there's Lizard, there's 6-7, there's D's Nuts. Like, there's all these things that you can type in my chat. And like, there's even one for No Nut November. And I know everyone's like, oh no, we don't talk about that. And I'm like, well, you know what? There are a lot of gooners out there. And that's all I'm going to say about it. But it's like, I'm sorry, I had to.
That was wow.
You know what the redeem is? It's if you type No Nut November, you have I think it's Andy Samberg saying you are the gooner. It goes away.
I love that. I have a blurb audio routine that says, "Who ordered all these fucking anime titties?"
That's amazing. And it's like, it's stuff like that that you can implement into your streams to interact with chat to make chat more engaging. It's like, and that's like a cool segue into the next question is, what are your things that you do to make chat more engaging, whether it be from a podcast perspective or whether it be just from a creation perspective? What is your favorite way to interact with chat?
Talking to them.
Oh,
Talking
okay.
to them. I love talking. Like again, I know you've been around for a hot minute, but like I don't know how close anybody's been paying attention. I created this thing called a chatathon.
Okay.
And I have I had a programmer come up with a whole program for me to run. So think of a subathon, but instead of subs keeping the stream going, it's chatting. So a base timer is set, and every time somebody chats, I'm not muted. Am I muted?
No, you're not muted.
I'm being trolled. Crappier.
Well, you might be muted on your stream. You're not on my stream.
No, I'm not muted. I'm not. I'm being trolled. I've got to unmuted because I do like I'm horrible at like muting and unmuting myself.
Mm-hmm.
So people will do that now because I fall for it every time. I'm gullible.
Hey, I one of my biggest things when it comes to that is like, if you hear something wrong with our audio, let me know, because audio changes the game for everything. Mm-hmm. Like, let us know as content creators.
No, I'm just being trolled.
Twitch's video bitrate is something might be wrong with Twitch right now, because Twitch has been consistently crashing for me. Anyways.
I don't know. I turned on the enhanced bitrate and I have been having an issue since. So.
Oh, I thought you turned it off.
No, I had it off.
Oh. I'll have to take a look at that, because that might be what's going on with my Twitch and it crashing.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But anyway, like I was saying too, with the interactions, like for me, I love talking to the community because I like getting to know people. I like being able to share experiences with people. But and sometimes that's yapping through in-game and telling how a game works. Sometimes it's just sitting and yapping. But I also can yap. I'm a very breathy person.
Ayo.
So it can go forever. Recently, I found a lot more enjoyment with like Twitch redeems, right? So people can spray. I don't know if you're watching, but I'll redeem one. Where's my bad lady? I can be sprayed with water. Like, oh no, you can't see it because I did my ult.
No, I saw it. No. I saw it.
No, I did something. What?
There we go. It showed up for me.
It did?
Yeah, it showed up. When you redeemed it, it showed up.
Okay. I didn't see it because I've recently learned how to like crop things too in OBS, that it just makes it so much easier to.
Cropping things in OBS is so big.
It's a lot of raging, lots of rants, lots and lots of rants. Yeah, it's a lot of ranting. But I like communicating. Like a big thing for me within my community too is I don't like leaving messages unread.
Yes.
Like I hate doing that. I have to, like, even through this, like, I've muted a couple of times. I'm sure you've seen it, but
Sure.
that's because like I want people to feel welcomed, and I want people to understand that I value their time being in the stream with me. So the only way that I know how to do that is by acknowledging what people say. Like, there's a difference between listening and hearing people.
Yes.
And chats to me are hearing people. Like, I have such a hard time with it. Um, which is why if my chats ever start going faster, I'm gonna have a huge problem. I'm never gonna get it. I'm like never gonna get anything done because I'm gonna sit there and just be like, "We're yapping." They're like, "I thought you were playing this today." I can't. You guys are talking too much.
One of the coolest things about like interacting with chat and like especially as an actual streamer, you have to do this. My favorite way to interact with chat and to get chat more engaged is to give them something to do while being in chat. Whether it being coming into my chat and doing !PP, or coming into my chat doing !FMK, or hug, or like whatever the case is. You come into my chat, you can see how long your wiener is. It's totally dope. And like,
me too. I think everybody has that now on Kick.
And it's like being able to go into chat and like figure out those types of things and like do certain things like that is huge. It causes more engagement, and it causes more people to want to interact. It causes people to want to see how you're doing. And it's like, I see someone redeem. It's like, "Oh, Lainey, look, your PP 4 inches. How you doing today? You want to grow that a little bit? Like, you turn it into a joke. Turn it into a game.
I'm a grower, not a shower."
And that's where you and I. Wait, no, never. We're not going to go there. But you see that interaction, that banter, that is what makes people more engaged. It makes you laugh. It would make you laugh even if you weren't in chat or you weren't in the Discord. But that type of interaction is how you engage and you banter with people and allow things to kind of grow. And like one of the best people that I say that, and I don't know if she's in your stream, but Aurora, one of the best she's been one of the best people to like interact with certain things that chat says. And watching what she's done as of recent has been really fucking cool.
Oh, Aurora, I know, dude. She's amazing. We have been like watching and everything. I met her last year, DreamHack, when we did we were on a Stardew Valley.
Oh, Stardew?
There's like 8 of us. Yeah, we were in the Stardew Valley thing at when I don't know if they did it this year, but like they would get people together like who would play games and what games they play. And she's like, "I want to try something different." So she was there, and that's when she was more of a flesh tuber than she was a VTuber. And my goodness, was she 17 inches of schwang? Holy shit, Michael.
Hey, yo. That's almost my size. Wait, what?
But yeah, no, it's been amazing to watch her too. She's so incredibly talented with like engaging with her community and making people feel welcomed and everything.
Nando.
And I don't think I could praise her enough. She is so amazing with engaging with her chat and staying up to date about it and just making people feel at home and welcome. And her C4 munchers. I am a dad over that in that community. So if you hear them refer to dad number 2 at any point, that is me.
W Daddy. But and like another group of creators that and I'm not trying to simp for them, I swear, I promise. But another group of creators that you should be watching in regards to how people engage in content is Ghost. Almost every creator who is in Ghost Gaming is a absolute G when it comes to engaging with content and engaging with their community. And whether it go from Manda or like even to some of the new people, like Bobby is an absolute inspiration when it comes to stuff like that. Like paying attention to what they do, how they interact with chat, how they get people to communicate within your chat is truly something amazing. And that's why I think that as a content creator, as a podcaster, you have to pay attention to what people in the community do, not steal what they're doing, but to maybe take some tips on what they're doing and integrate it into what you're doing. And
if it wasn't for Aurora, I 110% wouldn't have half of the redeems that I have right now.
But that's like the whole thing is making friends who understand what's going on. It's like you have to be able to make those you have to be able to have those friends and to learn from that. And like I have a lot of stuff that I'm gonna have to do on OBS from myself to be able to like implement certain things. And like I'm actually in the process of changing my entire stream setup from Botrix. I'm actually going to eliminate Botrix soon and go entirely into Lumia, since that's integrated into all platforms. And there's a lot more that you can do from an alert perspective with Lumia. So it's like, that's what we mean is like finding ways to engage with chat is so important and so huge. And as a content creator, as a streamer, that's what keeps people around and that's what makes people come back.
Oh, for sure. Oh, by the way, I remembered what I was saying before.
Sure. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
It took me a minute.
And that's okay.
So, when you were talking about like the things that you enjoy most, like again, I created something that's called a chatathon.
Mhm.
So instead of subs keeping the stream going, it's chatting. And I had a developer make a bot for me that every time somebody would chat, the timer would reset. So the preference is, instead of subs extending the timer, there's a base timer set. So for example, my chat's not incredibly active, so my timer is 10 minutes. But for somebody who has a more active chat, if they wanted to do it, they could set a timer for like 30 seconds. And the stream would end when that timer ran out, just like a subathon. But in order to keep the timer going, you would have to have chat. So every chat interaction, emoji, a word, a single letter, whatever it is, a chat interaction is what kept the stream going. Subs could extend the timer, but the base of it is 10 minutes, and it just goes solely off of chat.
That's an awesome idea, and I could do so many trolls with something like that. And like,
my chats kept me up for 34 hours because I don't end. It's a chatathon. You can't like, because it's off of chat, it's not like you have a set timer where you're like, oh, I've got 24 hours to go, I can take an 8-hour nap, right? It's
I would
going
have to cap
entirely
that.
based off of chat.
Me
I was gonna keep going, but my mods were like, you need to go to bed. You're kind of getting crazy.
For me personally, if I do that, and I would love to grab that from you and like utilize that, but like I would have to put a cap to that because I work a full-time job and there are certain times where I can't stay up super late.
Oh yeah.
So there are certain aspects that I would have to like be able to do and be like, all right, cool, we're gonna do a chatathon, but the stream could end in 5 minutes if you let it, or it could end in 5 hours if you keep it going, or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I have to go to sleep because I have to be fully aware and present for my job. It's extremely important. But it's also goes back to the burnout thing that I talked about, is like managing your schedule. That's a whole other thing that we haven't even discussed yet. But like getting chat to be engaging is so huge. And like that is
so
such
much
a cool
fun.
thing.
I have one mod who, for my chatathon, because I had to be really selective when I did them. I
Mhm.
still have to be selective because I used to do them every weekend. It was an every single weekend thing. And it burnt me out so much because I was spending 24, 36 hours on stream constantly every weekend. To the point where then it became, I was like, oh, okay, that I can't do this. So I started doing it once a month. Then I was like, I still can't do this. So now there's usually for like special occasions. But it is so like engaging. And with the way people are doing subathons now, where they stop the timer, do a rerun for part of their stream while they nap. You could do something like that if you wanted to with the chatathon. But for me, because I desperately care about chat engagement, I had one mod, like I said, who would set a timer, who knew what the timer was set as. And as soon as it got to 2 seconds, they would type something in chat and it would start over. Usually when the timer was like an hour. So it's like, you got 2 seconds left. I'm like, oh, I'm ready for bed.
Well,
It's been 26 hours. I got 2 seconds left.
So
Boom, a chat. The timer
wanna know what
restarts
I
in
would
an
do?
hour.
You want to know what I would do? Because I'm a tech nerd and I know how to do it. I would create a script that would run on my computer that would send in a singular digit or space or something into the Twitch chat on that timer every 10 minutes, no matter what.
That would be so interesting.
So literally all you do is you can create a C++ program that does a CN out, or CIN out, that sends to the Twitch website your particular chat, and then just hit enter, and then it will never end.
Mine right now, so it was when I shifted my focus because I was Twitch only for a little bit, then I went Kick only.
Mhm.
So mine is currently only configured for Kick chat because it's a Kick only thing. Like I created it on Kick. I was like, this is a Kick birthed specific event. And now I'm trying to integrate it over to Twitch. And that means I'm going to have a moderator who like can type in the Twitch chat at the same, or type in the Kick chat at the same time something comes through, so we can reset the timer, because the person who made it for me was Babs.
Gotcha. But that's
Babs
a really
was
cool,
the developer who made it for me. So
that is honestly a really cool thing. Like to have in your chat. That is genuinely something that I don't think a lot of people discuss.
nobody's ever done it.
No one's ever done it.
And
It's
I love
such a
it.
cool-
It's my baby. I tell anybody, I was like, anybody who wants to use it, you're more than welcome to. Just give me credit, because that's my baby.
It is such a cool thing. So as we kind of wrap things up on the podcast today, I know we talked a lot about podcasting in general, about dead space, about interaction with chat, about being able to communicate effectively and properly. Like we've talked about a whole lot. For any new and aspiring content creator that wants to delve into the field, what's one message that you want your listeners to walk away with today?
Talked a lot. This is that's so hard. I want them to take everything positive away. Like I if you can take some time to like fully listen to this podcast, listen to the advice that both I and Percussive both gave, I think that that's going to help you a lot on any journey at which you take content creation. You know, whether you're making shorts or like short little movies for whatever, or long form videos for YouTube, or podcasting or voice acting, whatever it may be. I think there's great advice throughout this entire podcast. Definitely check out other episodes as well on YouTube and everywhere else, because I'm sure there have been other people who have put things more eloquently or even just better advice than me. But overall, I think put yourself first. Allow yourself to be comfortable. And become like, if you're passionate like I am about anime, right? Don't let somebody be like, you talk too much, or you're getting too excited about this. Be comfortable within yourself with what you're passionate about. So that way, no matter what you do, how many viewers you have, how many likes, how many subs, no matter what, you're comfortable. Be comfortable in you and what surrounds you and what you're passionate in. And that's, I think, yeah.
I love that. And I could definitely, oh my god, the Cavs absolutely destroyed the Wizards. Like I love that like so much, because you have to just be yourself. You have to just enjoy things, and you have to have fun with things. And like it truly is something else as a content creator to be able to take your next steps. And
sorry, not you.
No, you're good. For me, the one piece of advice that I want everyone who's listening to this podcast to walk away with is there's only one journey, so make it your own and have fun with it. There is no right and wrong answer. There is no follow this script and you'll be famous. It doesn't work like that. So have fun with your journey. Make your own community and have an absolute fucking blast. Because guys, the basic reason why every single one of us went into content is because we have fun putting ourselves in front of the camera, and we have fun playing video games, and we have fun talking to people, and we have fun engaging in a world of content. So make it your own journey and have the most fucking fun with it you can.
Absolutely. And be comfortable. And if somebody makes you uncomfortable, ban them.
Yup. Ban them all.
Get them out.
Just like
Get
I had.
them out.
So funny story about banning people. And I'm sure that like Lydia Malthia will definitely talk with you about this because this was hilarious. So we were doing a TwitchCon raid train, right? And the raid message had a bunch of capital letters. Shout out to Botrix for this one. Apparently, I forgot to disable the capital letter spam thing. So everyone raided into my channel and was spamming it, and everybody was getting banned. Every person was getting banned in my chat. They were spamming the raid message. Ban. It was one of the funniest things ever. But no, seriously. Sorry. Welcome to my channel. You're all banned. But it's just have fun and genuinely everybody, like, content's not that hard, but it's also one of the most difficult things in the world. So just have fun with it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give a huge shout out to Lainey Talks here. And if you guys in the band fam, if you are not following Lainey, please make sure you are. Definitely go check out her content. Definitely go check out everything. Lainey, a huge thank you for taking the time out of your day to be able to come hang out on the PSP podcast, the Perk Spreads Positivity podcast. And I had a lot of fun being able to talk with you. We definitely vibe. And if this conversation at all resonated with any of you guys in chat, if it made you smile, send it to a friend, drop us a like or a comment, let us know what you liked, because we are a community and we're going to grow together. And make sure you guys all tap into Lainey. Please make sure you guys go follow her and pay attention to what she does, because, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate every single one of you. But until next time, bye everyone.